I'm going to talk about the Marshmellow Test. For whatever reason, on one of my recent many walks, I was thinking about it. And it's always kind of intrigued me, right? Because I fit the mold very well. I'm a person who would probably not eat that first marshmallow if I knew I was going to get more. I'm not sure why, because I'm not, and never was, terribly a fan of marshmallows. But certainly if you put it in something that I liked better, it would still hold. And I've always been a person who almost pathologically saves. But that idea of delayed satisfaction is very easy for me. But then I started thinking about it beyond the, hey, this is something that I don't even really like, to the, well, now wait a minute. Some people, you have to weigh in the cost of the delay to the people. They're not necessarily acting stupidly. It might be the case that one marshmallow is all you want, and why not have it now? Why not enjoy it now? And I think of that in terms of things, I'm thirsty now. I could buy a soda now, or I could wait until I get home and drink a whole 2 liters of soda. Well, I don't want 2 liters of soda. I want that cup of soda right now while I'm hot and thirsty out in the sun. That kind of thinking has to be arranged into it. Now, with the little children, maybe that doesn't make sense, but it does seem kind of strange to me that that there isn't more divergence just based on the, I don't really have any desire for 3 marshmallows, but that one looks good. I really want that one. And I would enjoy it more now than later. And actually, it's kind of funny because my recently passed wife was very much of that kind of nature. She couldn't, with one thing in particular, which was chocolate, she could not, she wanted to eat all her chocolate at once. And actually, that was kind of like the idea of saving it and eating it more slowly or something was actually vehemently opposed by her. She would rather not have the chocolate at all than have it not the way she wanted it. And it's just kind of an interesting aspect. But then my thinking ran along a different line, which is, maybe there's some advantage, and they certainly have shown, a linkage between the capability to resist eating that marshmallow, if that's what it really is. I'm not sure it always is, and the ability to save. And, again, that correlation exists for me. But I thought about kind of a more, a test I would have more difficulty with. Let's call it the dog shit test, okay? Here, eat this piece of dog shit or I'm going to force 3 of them down your throat. Or on a different side, cut up, this one's really hard, but both of them have the same thing where you have to do something unpleasant or something more unpleasant's going to happen to you. Cut off your finger or I'm going to cut off all the fingers on your hand. Now, I don't even know how I'd react to that. If, assuming that I believe that the person's going to do this, whatever. I'm not sure that I could do that. And that fits in very well with, my own thoughts about misery, whatever. And then there's sort of the procrastination test, which I fail completely, which is, it can be exemplified by my taxes. Once upon a time, I used to do my taxes right away. But there's no real reward to doing my taxes, right? I mean, okay, maybe I get a refund, maybe I don't, whatever. But if I get a refund, it's not something I really need right away. I'm not dying to turn that around and, go buy some marshmallows with it or anything. There certainly have been times in my life where, wow, that refund's going to really help. But it wasn't a matter of, ooh, I need that refund right now to pay my rent. It was more like, yeah, we've had some expenses and that'll help, restore the depletions, and that's really good. But on the other hand, the way I look at taxes now is they're this misery burden that is in my life. I have to get it done, and I feel frozen and unable to do other things until I do them. And like all miseries, I try to hide from them. But there's kind of this truism that there is a bonus that comes from it, which is once it's out of the way, I immediately get a positive feeling for getting it out of the way, But I can't do that, and I almost feel like I don't know. Like, taxes have not gotten all that much harder. This year they're going to be tough, and they've been tough since I got married. And she started working as sort of an independent contractor. But, and they may be especially difficult this year and next, because I won't have her help figuring them out. But, her part of them. But I mean, now I just unhappily pay to use software, and I always had to order forms and stuff even before her to handle some weird shit. So I'm kind of like, well, okay, it's not like it's a greater burden than before, but at least I lift that weight off my shoulders, and now I can go on to some other weight that's on my shoulders, which is the nature of life, right? One misery follows the next. One burden follows the next. That's just the way it is. And it's not just adult life. It was there when I was, I mean, I'm sure there was some age before I had to go to school, perhaps, or something, or before I despised going to school, where there were no looming badnesses, no matter what happened. Now it's like, push everything away because it's all shit, right? But to some extent, removing one burden is just an absolute positive. That's a burden that's not in my stack, that's not oppressing me, and there is this immediate positive. I get that kind of immediate positive at work, I used to get it with unit tests. Hey, I wrote my unit test, cool, let's see, did it work? Ooh, no. Crap. Well, why didn't it work? Oh, now it works, I figured it out. That kind of thing was really nice little tight cycle. I don't feel like taxes is that nice little tight cycle. But that's kind of the thing, like, you'd think that I would realize with that same sort of thinking that would prevent me from eating that marshmallow, even if I wanted the marshmallow and wanted more of them. That would interact with that kind of savings, delayed satisfaction for greater rewards, whatever type of thing, is the delayed, not delayed, trying to think of what the word is here. It's the opposite of delayed. My brain does not work like it used to. Yeah, I can't find the word that I want. But this sort of earlier misery of a task that I'm putting off that's really not that bad, that will completely eliminate huge quantities of misery in the future. And, you know, there's just nothing there that's similar for me. It's like every time I look at, I try to think about, you know, aspects that are like that. These procrastination of things that I kind of don't want to do. It's very, very difficult unless they're baked into my pattern. You know, like I kind of don't want to work every morning. But that's my pattern. I do that. I kind of don't want to go shopping every 2 weeks. Well, I got used to doing it every 2 weeks. Damn near. It became a bonus when I could take a week off. It becomes a bonus when I can say, you know what, I don't want to go to work today. I'm taking the day off. There's nothing that important. But that's reliant on the patterning, you know. And I mean, maybe the pattern has degenerated, like so many things in my existence, from when I was young and I did the taxes almost as soon as I could. But maybe there are other factors in play as well. But with most things in my life, you know, there's not the, hey, let me straighten up the room so that I don't have a huge task, you know, in 3 months or whatever. And that's just not there. I drop something on the floor. Fuck, it's on the floor. I'll get it later. You know, and soon the entire place is a mess. I know in a very visceral sense, what the danger, what the problem is here. I can see it clearly, I can identify it, I can analyze it. I can't quite act on it. And there were times when I could. There were times when, you know, I used to clean the house up because I had guests over once or twice a week. Where, not this place, God no, but back when I lived in Buffalo, my wife at the time would clean, and when we moved into a different place, I took that task over for whatever reason, just because, you know, it wasn't that big a deal. As soon as it became a pattern, it became fine. It's harder to justify now, and I just, you know, I could see myself having people over and leaving things every bit the mess it is because I can't face the mess, you know. I can't face dealing with my wife's stuff. I can't face the loft that I had to pull games away from the roof because they were kind of molding, clean them all off, and then never put them back. I can't face contacting people to get stuff fixed. And so all these miseries, just one on top of the other, on top of the other, and everything just deteriorates faster. And I know that's happening. I can identify it. I can see it. I can't act somehow. I mean, I don't know. And then when I do get the gumption up to try, it's a failure, which goes into something else, which is anything that you have to put effort into or try wasn't worth having or wasn't worth aiming for, which is something else in life that I think some small quantity of you will understand, and most of you will be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, it's that kind of different patterns that are just in play here that I don't even know how to face. Anyway, before this wanders off too much further off track, I think I've said what I want to say, and it's time to send it up before it gets too big.